I thought I'd always be able to eat like a teenager, as much as I want and whatever I wanted. But I grew up, had children, and wound up feeling out of place in my body. So now I'm a super busy woman on a mission to reinvent my relationship with food and to become Southern Fried Fit and fantastic. I had to relearn a couple things first, like what to eat and how to eat it. And I realized real quickly that you just can't out-train a crummy diet. I used to think you couldn't be Southern Fried and fit at the same time. But now I know, if you keep it 80% healthy and 20% indulgent, you can always be 100% Southern.
I can't sleep.
Shay, host of Southern Fried Fitness, where we are reinventing our relationship with food one delicious meal at a time, keeping it 80% healthy, 20% indulgent, and 100% Southern. Today we're pulling into Charleston, South Carolina, that sophisticated Southern belle of the South, alive with art, culture, history, and of course, home to some of the most amazing Southern food you will ever taste. Charleston's culinary scene is proof positive that your 80% healthy living is no sacrifice. So let's get busy living and celebrating on this episode of Southern Fried Fitness. Today we're going to experience low country cuisine at its finest by visiting Thornhill Farms in our local foods cafe and marketplace. We're also going to enjoy fried lobster and steak created by executive chef Jeremiah Bacon at the Oak Steakhouse, all before leaving Earth for a while to indulge in a 20% celebration with a dessert trio prepared by pastry chef Kinsey Satane. After we've taken in all the sights, we're going to head back to the Southern Fried Fitness kitchen, where we're going to create our very own slice of low country cuisine. It's going to be a great day, so let's get started. We all have a relationship with food, and when I decided to reinvent that relationship, I only knew one thing for sure. My new lifestyle must be steeped in Southern tradition and nourish my body and my soul. That's why I created 80-20 Living. It just made sense to me. 80-20 Living focuses on nourishing our bodies with clean, healthy food choices 80% of the time, which allows us 20% to nourish our soul with the indulgent foods we've grown to love. 80-20 is simply having the best of both worlds. Reinventing your relationship with food doesn't have to mean the end of your very favorite dishes. Let's learn how to live in our 80% and celebrate in our 20%. A little less than an hour away from Charleston sits fertile 100-acre Thornhill Farm. Its wide variety of organic vegetables and sustainable agriculture make it a boon for restaurants looking for healthy alternatives for their produce and a great source of first-generation foods. What are first-generation foods? First-generation foods are the best. They haven't been treated or altered in any way. The soil is free of pesticides for the production of fruits and vegetables. The animals are free of growth hormones and antibiotics, and they are fed an organic diet, not supplemented in any way. First-generation foods want to take care of you, just like first-generation family. Let's visit our local foods cafe and marketplace and see what they can do with first-generation food. Thornhill Farms is home to our local foods cafe and marketplace, and that's where I am right now. Now, there's a lot to choose from the menu, so it took me a little while, but what I chose was this amazing vegetable focaccia. So I can't wait to taste it. Let's give it a try.
She was a blue-eyed baby from South Carolina, going
This is absolutely fantastic, and you can always tell when the vegetables and the sauces and the breads are made fresh, and this is fresh. And of course, that's what Thornhill Farms is all about, community sustainable agriculture. Not only does Thornhill Farms provide all of the produce and a lot of the meats and vegetables for this location, but they also provide them for some of the most wonderful restaurants in downtown Charleston, South Carolina. So join me, let's go downtown and see what they do with all of Thornhill Farms' wonderful produce and dairy products. Many of Charleston's most famous chefs are passionate about preserving the integrity, quality, and indigenous variety of local Southern food, which is why a number of them have turned to local farms for their produce, cheese, eggs, and more. Not to mention, supporting a local CSA puts income back into the community where it can continue to work and thrive. Now, that's just one of the many reasons why I'm here at the Oak Steakhouse. Well, that and the fried lobster and steak dinner doesn't hurt, not to mention dessert. So let's go to the kitchen and see what's happening. Okay, so tell me a little bit about what we're getting ready to taste.
What we have here is our New York strip. We have spent a great deal of time at Oak sourcing our beef. We use all certified Angus beef.
Okay.
It is, in our opinion, the best you can get.
The steak really is absolutely delicious.
The lobster is a deep-fried lobster. It's sort of our little low-country take on it. We do a pretty classic seasoning, flour, a little cornstarch, and that low-country spice.
You have really outdone yourself. This is a lovely dish that I'm really proud to spend my 20% on. So thank you so much.
Well,
I really
thank
appreciate
you.
your time. Once your body has made the switch from processed foods to all natural ingredients, you'll begin to feel so much better, and you'll find that you can't compare when it comes to taste. And believe it or not, amazing meals like this can fit in your 80% healthy side of life. So let's go back to the Southern Fried Fitness kitchen, where I'll show you how to clean up another low country classic. We're in the kitchen and ready to whip up something wonderful. Now today we're going to be preparing a very classic and old-fashioned low country shrimp and grits. Now left untouched, it's really not a meal fit for your 80%, but today we're going to clean it up and make it a meal for any day of the week. Now remember, if you miss any step, you can always check out the recipe online at SouthernFriedFitness.tv. So you may see here I have bacon in my pan. Bacon in my 80%. Well, remember that we choose ingredients for high impact flavor, and I'm only using 2 pieces of bacon in this recipe. Now, what we're gonna do, and the way that we cleaned up this particular recipe with the grits, is we started off with 4 cups of chicken stock, and buy a good quality chicken stock. Perhaps you can reduce the sodium a little bit, but you're gonna start with your chicken stock, and we have that in the dish here, and we're gonna incorporate about 1.5 cups of grits into the chicken stock. A lot of these grit recipes will call for high concentrations of butter as well as half and half or heavy cream. We're just using a low-fat milk in ours. Now, once this starts to thicken just a bit, we're gonna add some of our finishing pieces, and it's already doing exactly what it needs to do. Now, we have some great quality Parmesan cheese that we're gonna be adding. We have a good sharp cheddar cheese that we're gonna add as well. And the beauty about grits is that we are just about finished with them. We're gonna put the lid on and let them just kind of set up. There's really not a lot to it at all. Now, the first thing that we're gonna do to get this going is we're gonna add some mushrooms. These need to cook together for about 3 or 4 minutes. To that, we're going to add some green onion. Now let's add our garlic. And let's just let these 3 kind of work their magic together in the pan for a few minutes. And the final thing that we're going to add to this are just some fresh chopped tomatoes. And again, we just looked for every opportunity to bring in additional color that wouldn't compromise the original flavor of this wonderful low country favorite. So our pan is ready to receive our shrimp. And we're just looking for the shrimp to turn just a nice light pink. You'll notice a little bit of a texture change, which means they're getting close to being ready. Now, shrimp are an excellent source of essential amino acid tryptophan. Now, this amino acid is important to maintaining balanced sleep, stabilizing our moods, and of course, just overall brain health. So shrimp, all in all, is a perfect source of protein. Don't shy away from shrimp. Find a place for it in your 80%. So we are going to deglaze the bottom of our pan with some good quality chicken stock. It's gonna make just a nice, rich, kind of a gravy sauce. So we're gonna top it with just a little fresh lemon juice, and then we're gonna add just a little bit of flavor on top. So 1 pat of butter is all that it's going to take. So our grits are ready, our shrimp is ready, and I am ready to plate this beautiful low country classic up. One final little bit of beauty, and this is ready to go to your table. And there you have it. Well, that's it for our 80% dish. Today, an amazing low country favorite. Now stay tuned for some outdoor fun as we explore some of the byways and passages of one of the country's oldest cities. And of course, get ready to enjoy our 20% Southern indulgence. I've always enjoyed the outdoors, the fresh air, the sun on my face. It's really never been hard to get me outside. A lot of people ask me about exercise and how they should work out or what works the fastest. And you know, I think it's different for each person and entirely dependent on what you like to do. Now, regardless of the activity, it should activate your excitement for exercise. For me, it was and remains biking. It wasn't until bike riding that I really experienced the mind-body connection and that I realized that exercise truly could de-stress your life. For me, when I bike ride, both my mind and my body are completely and totally engaged in that activity. Now, it may not be bike riding for you. It could be yoga, it could be rock climbing, it could be hiking, it could be so many different activities. My suggestion to you would be to continue to search for the perfect activity. It could be tennis, it could be kayaking, but the activity is out there that is the perfect combination of mind and body, and give your mind that opportunity to rejuvenate. When we're out exercising or going to one of the children's horse shows or hurrying to a football game, we need to be able to make something healthy, filling, and quick. Many of us may be tempted to hit the fast food or even grab a bag of potato chips on the go. But now I'm going to show you how to make some amazing energy bars that will help you stave off hunger and stay in your 80% even when you're in a hurry. I have 4 very hungry boys at home that eat snacks like they're going out of style, and it's always nice to have a go-to, on-the-go snack so you don't fall victim to the fast food line, which is what always happens when we just don't take that little ounce of prevention and have a readily available snack. This is, of course, an 80% snack, very, very healthy, loaded with protein, nice carbohydrate balance so it stays with them a long time, and something that they can grab and go. Where we start this recipe is with just an assortment of nuts, and hopefully you can purchase your nuts in bulk. You can do walnuts, almonds, you can do pecans, really any nut that you enjoy. Right here we have a combination of all 3 of those, and we're just gonna kind of rough chop these. We want about 1.5 cups. This is a very loosely interpreted recipe, so use the nuts that you like, use the dried fruits that you like. I'll tell you what is important as I get to it that really doesn't need to be changed, and that is the binder, and in this case it is brown rice syrup. We'll get to that in just a second. So to our nuts, we're gonna add just an assortment of dried fruits. Here we have just craisins and some golden raisins there. We're gonna give ours just a little bit of a Hawaiian flair by adding some dried mango. And we also have some blueberries in there. We're gonna add just a hint of unsweetened coconut to the mix. Now we're gonna add just some rolled oats. We have about a cup of rolled oats. Finally, let's add just a little bit of dark chocolate pieces. And the wonderful thing about dark chocolate pieces is you get just that little blast of flavor. It doesn't take a lot, so don't dump them in there. You want just a little bit to be sprinkled so that you just get an occasional burst of the chocolate flavor. So to bind all of these together, we're going to use brown rice syrup. And when brown rice syrup activates in the oven, it almost acts like it has soda in it, in that it starts to bubble. So it comes up and it just coats all of the bars, all of the top of the bars, and then they set up really, really nicely. You want to line your 8x8 pan with some foil, and you want to just touch the foil with a little bit of nonstick spray. Now I'm also going to sprinkle in just a little bit of coarse kosher salt. So we have the oven preheated to 325 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and pour these into my baking pan. You're gonna bake these off for about 18 minutes. You wanna push them very firmly down into the pan. Okay, so while those are cooking, I already have a batch made, and I want to tell you just a few final things, final steps that you need to be aware of as you're getting ready to cut and remove these from your pan. When you take them out of the oven, they're going to be very, very tacky, so they need to just set up for a few minutes to the side. So let them set up maybe 5-10 minutes till the real heat gets off of them, and then you want to go ahead and cut them with your knife, but don't remove them from the foil because they won't be set up yet. This is a fantastic money-saving snack, and it's healthy too. If you missed any of the recipe, please visit SouthernFriedFitness.tv. Coming up, we're heading to the Oak Steakhouse where pastry chef Kenzie Satane has prepared one of her sensational signature desserts. Dinner at the Oak Steakhouse was amazing, but when I heard pastry chef Kenzie Satane was baking her very special carrot cake, I knew I had to stay for dessert. We are getting ready to indulge in our 20% celebration, and I'm here with Chef Kenzie Satane. I want to talk to you about your signature dish, which is your carrot cake. Kenzie, what makes your carrot cake so sensational?
Rather than using the paddle attachment, I use the whip attachment to whip the eggs and the oil, and then I use the paddle attachment to incorporate the carrots and the pecans at the end, which I think aerates it very nicely. A lot of people say that it's very light for a carrot cake.
And tell me about the oven temperature, because I know that is very important too.
It is very important. I bake these at 325. Also, I pull it out of the oven as soon as it's done because they're going to carry over bake afterwards about 15 more minutes.
I have saved all week for this right here. And of course, when you live 80-20, you don't have to feel guilty about enjoying these decadent, delicious Southern indulgences. So Kenzie, will you join me in enjoying every bite of these beautiful desserts?
Of course.
Okay. My congratulations to the chefs. Because of them, I can't move. But I have to. There's still so much more to do. First, let's head back to the Southern Fried Fitness kitchen where we're going to create our own low country 20% masterpiece. So we are back in the Southern Fried Fitness kitchen, and who better to prepare my 20% celebration than Deanna?
I'm excited.
Are you excited?
Yes,
You ready?
I am.
This is why we live 80-20.
That's right.
So we can step in the kitchen and make amazing treats for our family and ourselves and not feel guilty at all.
That's right. Well, tell me, how was the carrot cake?
The carrot cake was absolutely amazing. I mean, Chef Kenzie poured her heart and soul into preparing this carrot cake.
So are we going to make that now?
No. We don't have the time that she had
Okay,
to
okay.
prepare that carrot cake, but we are going to make a Shea family favorite, and this is Heavenly Banana Trifle. So where this recipe begins, of course, is with a pound cake. You can make pound cake, but you know what? There's some really great store brand pound cakes out there, so you don't have to go to that trouble if you don't want to. So you got it going over there?
It's going, girl.
Okay. And of course, this recipe has very loose rules. So wherever you are, whatever fruit is the most available, whatever's the freshest, looks the best in the grocery store, you can certainly go with that fruit. We've chosen raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, and we have some bananas that we're gonna add to this as well. So the next step that we're going to do is we're gonna take our vanilla pudding and we're gonna fold in just a good quality whipped topping. We are not mixing these together.
Okay.
We are very gently folding these together.
Got it.
Okay, because what we want is we want a layered flavor. So we have some sweetened condensed milk, and again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're just going to gently fold this in. Okay, so let's go assemble this amazing
Sounds
trifle. The next layer that we're going to put on this is we're gonna start adding some of our fruit.
Okay.
A little bit of our strawberries. And of course, if you really wanna get fancy, you can kind of put your fruit toward the outside of your bowl. So we're gonna put our first layer of our pudding over our beautiful fruit. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes.
So for those of you that like exact measurements, this is a very forgiving recipe, but if you go to SouthernFriedFitness.tv, it'll give you the exact breakdown of how much you're gonna need of what to make this amazing trifle.
Well, this looks amazing. Are we gonna get to try this?
We are absolutely going to get to try this
Okay.
because this is what it's all about. That's why we spend that little extra time in the gym.
All right.
That's why we live in our 80%, so that when it comes to amazing 20% dishes, there is no sacrifice and no guilt involved at all. It was a wonderful weekend here in Charleston, and I am sad to have to say goodbye. But there are hundreds of other towns and cities just waiting for us to explore. Not to mention so many wonderful Southern recipes waiting to be shared. Now remember, Southern is not a location on a map, it is a state of mind, and you can be Southern anytime, anywhere. Also, we're reinventing our relationship with food and fitness, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come, looking to us for better guidance in their health and fitness. So until next time, remember, keep it 80% healthy, 20% indulgent, and 100% Southern.
Even if you fall down, at least you flew that high. Flew that high. When the road some songs people